Hi, this is Hoppi VR episode number 8. In this episode, I'm going to be going over how I wrote my own little library for the inverse kinematics that's controlling the robot arms. And then I also fixed a whole lot of other bugs. In the previous episode, I sorted out all the massive issues I was having with comms and the servers moving smoothly. So now that's fixed. And then I also started on the arms, moving them, trying to get them to target. That sort of was half okay. There's a few issues from there I want to try fix. The servers were wobbling a lot. That's mainly because they're loose. I'm going to attempt to do a little bit of fix up on that. There's also a bent part here, which I want to fix up. And once I've tightened all of this up and cleaned it up as much as I can, it still won't be perfect. I mean, these are very cheap arms. Then I want to start working on all the software issues and try get the targeting much better. But first of all, I'm going to take off the armor. Okay, I'm just going to straighten that. So it's more straight now. So I was tightening all the screws and just noticed there's actually no screw holding that in. Must have fallen out. I mean, I know that side fell out and then I replaced it, and I didn't know the other side fell out. Luckily for me, I've got billions of screws. So I've tightened up everything and I've straightened up this arm and tightened up that one. The next job is to get the arms, just make sure they're all still starting up in the right position. And then, so this one should be fine. And then I need to fix up the startup procedure. When you have it starting up and not connected to the VR, then it seems to work fine. Okay, so that should be no working. Okay, that looks better now. I still feel like I have a problem with the start and stop, which is going to get interference from the VR. So I'm going to look at that next. I'm also going to be working on the inverse kinematics. Basically, the problem with the current library I'm using, it gives me multiple solutions, and each solution is not close to each other from the next one. So if I change my target to here, it will usually move like either there or over here, and it will never move smoothly. Now, the one problem I found out was it's trying to get it exactly parallel. So if I add an extra segment here, it works better, and that's what I was doing last time. But it's not perfect. So I'm going to be attempting to write my own library specifically for these arms and get that working better. I've redone the inverse kinematics. I've just got the VR helmet on a chair and I'm moving the arms around. And as you can see, they're now moving way more smoothly. It doesn't always exactly move towards the target, but it's roughly correct. So what I'm trying to show you now is just the startup. Start the arms. So this is a startup and stop procedure. So that's normal. So as I move these move around fine. So the problem I was having with the start and stop procedure is when I was moving the VR and then stopped it, it wouldn't move back again. So I'm just going to test it quickly. So if I stop it, and then it moves back perfectly. Now going back to the inverse kinematics, so to start it again. So there's a few things that I've done here. First of all, the arm's still shaking there. Let me move the other arm around. So one thing it's doing is I can move the wrist around by rolling this. And then I can close and open the hand by pushing the trigger, and it will, and that's an analog value, so I can control it nicely. And then it moves nice and smoothly. So that should be now the inverse kinematics done. It's not moving crazy fast. I can increase the speed, but for now I just want to leave it like that. So and then just try the other one. So same story. And then we can switch it off. And then it goes back again. And then I just want to test the head just to make sure the head's working quite well. So I had to redo the head code, but yeah, no, that seems to be working fine. Next thing I want to do is like a full test of everything, like I've done previously. I also want to try do the driving as well. I don't know how, I've been having problems with that previously, but like I said, I'm going to connect this up to the driving. I was previously using a joystick, so it should be the same thing. For the full test, what I was thinking of doing is maybe putting a table in front here and then putting some items on it and then going upstairs and connecting everything up and then seeing if I can mess around with those items. And then maybe set it up something like that. Obviously there's a lot that isn't actually screwed on. The speakers is skewed because I don't have them screwed on at the moment. But again, this is just a test. Hopefully it won't move into this table. I just want to move it a bit back. Okay, then click start on. And then see what happens. The head can't move down far enough, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. If the claws are working, the hands aren't quite good. What's happening there? Okay, wait, I'm just going to stop this. Something's going wrong. I went and watched the video. There were three things. First of all, the head was moving at about to an angle like that. What it needs to do is be able to move even further down. Next problem is I noticed when the hand moved up here, it touched the speaker and pushed the speaker. So I need to make an area in virtual space where it's not allowed to move around this area here. Okay, the stop-start procedure it got stuck on the table, but I'm not too worried about that. I might just use a different type of table or something like that. Oh, the third problem was that the arms weren't reaching out far enough. So they should reach to about here, but I was going about there when I was pulling out. So what I need to do is just change the I've got a scale in between the VR and the arms. I just need to adjust that scale a bit. So I've added these two components to the view. This is a VR arm to head adjustment. What this does is it does that scaling I was talking about previously, and then this adjusts the height. This is the height in relation to the robot's body, because the 0 point is at the bottom of the robot. Previously I noticed that I wasn't connecting to the motor controller. I did take a quick look at that, and I think I've mucked up something when I was doing this board over here in the previous episode. So I'm going to have to look at that later on. So I won't be able to control the driving of the robot, but I have set up the VR control to actually control it, and it is working the same as the joystick, so I'm getting the same values out of it. So right now I'm going to be testing the three things I fixed. And then I'm going to start the microphone. So you're going to be hearing the double voice now. Get again? Get again? Yeah, yeah. Meow, meow. Anyway, that's not going to work. Should be able to start the head with the controls. If I remember correctly, it's on this one. Yeah, that's starting off. Let me start with that. Okay, so I'm still going to bug with the VR controls and stuff. Let me... Okay, that at least. I'm going to manually switch the head on. I don't know why that's not working. So the idea now is to switch the arms on. And then go right arm. Okay, so what I've done now is I've changed it from 12 milliseconds to 12. Okay, I don't know if this might be all the different. I can't actually see what's going on. What? Okay, now I need to actually try to pick something. Because cannot switch it off. The menu button should be no, that's it. So I originally had this at 25 milliseconds per move. That's the higher the number, the slower it moves. And then I set it down to 12, and that's where I did the demo. And then recently I set it down to 5, and the arms were moving great, but then I was getting power spikes. I've set it back to now 10 instead of 12, and it seems to be working. So I'm going to keep it at 10 and go from there. What I've done now is I've tapped a whiteboard marker to my one hand. I'm just going to start my hands up and see if this works. Good. And there's that hand. Okay. So... I don't know what I'm trying to draw here. A little feather. Okay, this is quite difficult. So the one thing good about this is I can then record this. Okay, let's stick that on. I'll attempt to draw an eye there. And that can be the other eye. Oh no, what happened? Okay, I lost video. I'm gonna stop that and stop that. Yeah, I didn't do the best job of rubbing it up, but whatever. Okay, try number 2. So I'm going to switch the arms on now. Okay, going now. Where's my arm there? Okay. So again, I've got a whiteboard marker here, so I'm going to attempt to draw. Okay, let's try something else. What else can I try? Whiteboard is way too difficult. This time I've got a little table set up in front with a whole lot of random crap, and I'm going to see if I can mess around with it. And do some other stuff. Then I'm going to attempt to switch my arms on. I just need to keep my arms down and then lift them up. Okay, switching it on. Okay, so the chair is in the way of the arms. Do that. Okay, let's try the other arm. Keep this one out of the way. Okay, where's the other arm? Just gotta go this way and forward a bit and grab it. There we go. Okay. Lift it up. There we go. Where's my arm go? Oh. Okay, that's the furthest I can reach. So there's a problem already. Okay, that away and switch the arms off. And I'm just going to move the items to the outside. So as I was saying, I can't reach it, so I need to put these on the outside. Okay, switch the arms back on. I want them to be outside. No, come get that out. Okay, that fell off. Now, next hand. Where's my hand? Okay, I want to angle it like this and move it inwards. And close it. No, squash it. I'm pressing the trigger too hard there. Okay, let's try. Can I reach this bit? Start the arms. I pick up first? Probably the spoon. Oh god, I can't go in. No, wait, no. Okay, let's pick up the plate. The bowl. Come on. There we go. Come here. Okay, try the cup. Okay, just want to press a little, no, a little bit. Oh god, is it the furthest I can reach? Move closer. No. Okay, I got the pin. Put it over there. Okay, there's another pin here I can try to grab. Oops. No. Try to move the table closer. Oh wait, actually that's a bad idea. Let me try the other arm. Just gotta remember to keep this arm out of the way. Okay. Might as well grab this. Where am I? Not too far away. I don't know what happened there. Grab the pin. Oh. More down. No! More that way. Ah. Go that way. Okay, I'm gonna, wait, let me try and move it with this arm. Okay, I'm gonna move down. Fit in, then move the table back. There we go. Right. Move the table this way. Then I should be able to get hold of that ball. And grab. Closer. There we go. No, no, no. You stay there. I don't know what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to smack the ball down. Anyway, let me just try to grab it from. There we go. Away ball. Can I grab the table with two arms? No? No, further down. No, further down. Okay. No more table! Oh no! I messed everything up. Can I actually reach the box? No. Okay, well that worked out quite well. I actually wanted to tip the table over there, so that's not a problem. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching and goodbye!